Welcome back to BSRTV. It's round 23 of the Engine Oil Direct British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. My name is Andrew Woodhouse, joined by Adam Bath once again. And Adam, the first race was won by Ashley Sutton in fine style. What's going to happen in race 2, do you think?
Anything could happen because we've got a new driver starting on pole position, that is Matthew Owen. However, I think the big talking point from the first race is the championship, because Andreas Katz has now got a 74-point lead over David Baker, who got taken out on lap 13. Simon Fields currently sitting in third place in the standing, but I think we're looks like we're getting a rolling start for the second race, Andrew.
Yeah, it looks like the pace car's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, so...
And the last driver to start on pole with a white, neon green and black car, well, that was me. Revs are rising. Green flag here at Silverstone. Matthew Owen got a good start. He got a really good start, actually. He's heading down to Copse Corner. Look at the field. Streaming down, filling the main straight.
Into turn one, and Matthew Owen.
Oh, that's
it's
Smith.
all gone wrong. Newman round, he's on his roof.
Newman goes over Laura Bonds in the wall.
No safety car calls. No safety car though, so it looks like we've all managed to carry on without too much of a problem. More cars off, one of the Carnage cars off.
Carnage car flying all the way off the track as Matthew Owens continues to lead. Down the Wellington Straight then. Carnage car got back on, I'm not sure who that was. Into Brooklands then, look at them. Owen turns it in. Is he losing the back end a little bit? 3 wide. Daniel
Stevens.
Kraft. Ellis Stevens. Oh,
and he hits him.
He's hit the Engine Oil Direct car of Whitehead. And again,
hits him again.
He's hit him again. He's pushed him a bit further forward though.
This is where...
Oh, big one.
And now they're going to come back onto the track, yes.
Massive one.
Huge crash. And goodness me.
Over.
Was that Sutton? I think that might have been Ashley
Sutton's
Sutton.
Involved. He's
Surely
rolling.
they'll throw the safety
He's hit
car.
Burke, and off goes someone at the back. That's Greg Kinnock. They're all trying to get through. I'm not sure that was just ploughing into a stationary car. Richardson's managed to get through everything. Russell Laidler's got damage. Massive crash, Adam.
Back at the front now is Paul Smith versus Matthew Owen. No safety car. No safety car thrown. I'm amazed how that hasn't happened. It looked like a war scene down the front straight as Smith goes down the inside. And he just holds on, and I think Smith will take the lead. And who's out in third place? It's Robert Plumley. And he could get both of them.
It's going to be 3 wide in Luffield.
Still side by side. He's side by side, and I think Smith has just got Plumley clear. Yes, well, sort of. Then now side by side down the straight. 2 by 2 with Matthew Owen watching us. Look at the smoke on the front straight.
You can still see it.
Into turn one.
You can still see the smoke. All the carnage that went on. Wide goes Smith, and he's on the AstroTurf, and he's lost a lot of momentum there, and Plumley's going to have a look. Is he going to have a look at the inside as we go into Maggots then? Round the... Oh, Smith's gone wide. Owen's still there.
They all go off.
all the way off the concrete.
And now Owen's definitely going to have the straight line speed advantage, because both of them nearly went off the racetrack, but Plumley took the lead.
There's a bit, but he's still in front of Smith. Smith's going to go for it. Oh, down the inside.
Oh, no, they're both off. They're surely going to both end up...
No.
They stay on.
They've both survived. Side-to-side contact. That's typical touring car contact there.
Yeah, it shows you how strong these Kia Optimas are with side impact.
They are very strong. They are very strong cars. You know, we underestimate the car every single week, but it keeps ticking away. Just need to have a look at some of the cars near the back. See that? Quite a few people have been in for fast toes. Adam, they've lost nearly an entire lap though. The likes of Greg Kinnock and Pete Newman, Gordon Wilson, Stephen Burke. To be honest, most of the back of the field, Laura Bond, Walensky, I think, as well. All lost major time as under pressure is Plumley, and now look at this battle. Graham's closing on this front group, Adam, with Kraft and Katz and Ben Palmer.
Yep. Katz in 6th still with David Baker in 12th. So even though Baker finished in 27th in race 1, he's managed to gain quite a few spots into Brooklands though, and Smith's gone very wide.
Is he going to go off the course?
He is, I think, and that's going to go Owen through.
And Owen
just through. Owen round the outside, but Smith has got the inside. Side by side on the exit. Will Owen try and
Owen should have had the run there, but he didn't quite get it, did he?
Yeah, and of course this is probably the first time he's been at the front of the pack, and he's roughing it up there with Daniel Kraft side by side into the first corner. And who's that? Is that Robert Graham in the Apex car? They're all off. 3 cars off.
Owen's gone wide, and that was thanks to Robert Graham.
They all somehow managed to stay in the same place as source of Owen down to 7th.
Oh no, it's going to be nearly 4 wide into Maggots.
Katz has managed to benefit from this. He's up to 4th
Through goes
place.
Palmer. Owen's getting beaten up a little bit now.
And now it's Smith and Kraft side by side down the Wellington straight. In fact, it's nearly 2 by 2 behind them. Robert Graham trying to get past Andreas Katz. Matthew Owen, big loser in there. He's down to 7th. But Smith and Kraft in towards Brooklands. Who's going to get in position? Side by side, they both hit each other again. They push each other wide.
Oh, it's more contact. Kraft's not taking any prisoners today.
Down the inside, he's managed to still hold on though.
They've got the run though. It's got the momentum. Now then, through Woodcote, he's got the overlap. He can go clear on Daniel Kraft, but Kraft's still got the slipstream. Look at this, they're 4 abreast nearly.
Fanning out as we head down the front straight into the corner. They're one of the team carnage cars. I think that's Robert
Smith.
Fagg.
He's made a mess of it.
And Fagg's through. Fagg's managed to get past Katz and Graham. He's side by side with Katz as we head into Maggots and Beckett's.
Robert Fagg. In
down
fact, that's
inside.
Ben Palmer, that.
And Katz nearly into the back of Kraft there. Smith's trying to desperately get away.
Oh,
someone's blown an engine.
That's a blown engine. That's a
Graham.
Apex TV car. It's Graham.
Still side by side.
It's Ben Palmer with the orange mirrors, Adam.
And Smith to the inside. Kraft to the outside.
all over the course. Is he going to go around Paul Smith?
He's going to do it.
Brooklands, he's going to do it. He's going to make it.
Done deal,
Beautiful
yeah.
driving from Daniel Kraft. And Palmer's through on. Oh, and Smith. And how did they all get away with that?
God only knows, and that's allowed them all to join together once again. Kraft and the car behind Smith was definitely pulling away, but now it's everyone's guess.
Now 3 wide nearly with Smith, and you can't go 3 wide into Cops. It's not sensible. And off goes Paul Smith.
Katz involved as well, but Smith is the major loser there. So surely something had to give, and sadly it was Paul Smith that was involved.
Oh, Katz rubbing panels with his own teammate there, Steve Hefford, I think. Oh, and off goes Hefford. He missed the braking completely for Maggots.
The 2 championship contenders.
I've got to jump in here, guys, just for a second. Paul Smith tried to recover back to the track, just rolled his car back into the apex of Cops. Massive secondary smash.
Okay.
Shocking.
The 2 championship contenders are battling. It's Katz versus Baker into Brooklands. Battle for 6th place, Andrew.
Yeah, that's appalling, Alex. I've just seen that. That needs to be stamped out completely for next season. What did you say, Adam? Sorry.
The 2 championship contenders, Katz and Baker,
indeed.
battling.
Sorry, yes. Katz is now in front of Baker, and Matthew Owen has got back up to 5th. He's challenging Daniel Hunt now, and he's going to go around the outside of him.
Surely not, and that's going to allow Katz through. That's surely going to allow Katz through. He's side by side with Owen.
Owen's going to block Baker off, Adam.
Surely. He's got enough room though. Katz has the inside line for Beckett's, but he doesn't want to risk it. And look at Owen, superly cool under brakes, but he's gone very wide, and that's going to allow.
He was so calm, he was horizontal, and he ended up going off the track as a result.
And that's allowed Baker and Katz to get through, but he has got the slipstream. He has got the slipstream, even though he got a terrible exit from Beckett's. Will he try and lunge it down the reigning series, down the inside of the reigning series champion?
No,
he doesn't.
He might receive a lunge from Hefford. Hefford's having a look. It's worked out beautifully for Team Carnage, hasn't it? 2nd and 3rd for Ben Palmer and Robert Fagg, but the man who has benefited the most, Alex, if you can get a shot of the leader, Engine Oils Direct, their driver Robert Plumley is nearly 3 seconds ahead.
Yeah, and Robert Plumley won a race a few weeks ago. I do remember that was his first win in the BSRTC ever, and he's now back at the lead once again, but Dan Hunt is coming under pressure from Katz. Dan Hunt currently sitting 4th in the standings, and he's holding up the top 2 behind. Into Maggots and Beckett's. We've still got over half of this race still to go here. Hunt goes very wide, and so does everyone else. Owen and Hefford both go wide as well. Katz managed to get a good line, Andrew, and he's now side by side with Hunt as we head down the Wellington Straight.
Yeah, he did indeed. Baker almost made some contact with him. As look at Steve Hefford now. He's having a look on Matthew Owen. Is he going to get the run? As you can see, all the cars jockeying for position behind Kevin Noon in 9th. He's coming under a lot of pressure from... Oh, and gets hit by Dan Blake. And Dan Blake's off, and he's disqualified, I think. So Kevin Noon maintains 9th. Scott Malcolm 10th. That's Matt Walker in 11th. ahead of Russell Laidler and then Jay Wright. I could see Jay Wright up there.
Side by side, Owen and Hefford still as we head down into Copse.
Yeah, Owen's giving a brilliant account of himself here. It's this colour scheme, Adam. It brings good luck, I think.
Probably the best rookie performance since Aston Bath at Donington Park a few weeks ago as Hefford down the inside and he roughs Owen up and Owen off. Both of them off. And Owen's desperately trying to get back onto the racetrack here, but that was a little bit of a rough play there by Steve Hefford.
He hasn't been disqualified yet though, Adam, so there's time for that. As Laser Tools, Scott Malcolm there, having a look on Kevin Noon. Noon's going to give him the room. Malcolm goes through. Noon was a bit cautious there. Don't think it helped him. First time we've really seen him up in the top 10. And yeah, Scott Malcolm doing a good job there, getting through. And look at those three teammates in the line, Adam. Kevin Noon, Russell Laidler and Jay Wright.
Yeah, great to see them up inside the top half of the pack. We don't usually see them at the front, usually at the front for the reverse grid. However, they usually end up having a few various incidents in the race. Palmer has now closed the gap between him and Plumley to 1.4 seconds, laps half a second quicker than Plumley. So Plumley's not out of the woods yet. We've still got 10.5 laps to go here at Silverstone. Robert Fagg in third place, Dan Hunt still in fourth, and Katz in fifth, only 0.3 of a second behind. And Baker is still refusing to let Andreas Katz go. Only 0.2 of a second between them now.
Yeah, Palmer's really on it today, and he's closing the gap on Plumley. That's going to be a very close battle in 3 or 4 laps time, I reckon. But yeah, Ben Palmer's not letting the back of these Oculus 360 cars leave his side. What can he do though? This is the thing. What would he dare do at this point in the championship, Adam? It's a real head scratcher, isn't it? What do you do? How far do you push it?
Yeah, because you're 74 points behind now. Do you still play the game of I'll wait and see what happens and pick up the points when and where they come, or do you think I've got to take these chances while I can, while there's still a few rounds to go in the championship? And Katz nearly going past his teammate there. You do not want to take your teammate out, as we saw the Elite Martini cars do at Lime Rock Park earlier in the season. That was probably one of the lowlights of the championship. And the gap between Plumley and Palmer, Andrew, 0.4 of a second, and this battle's definitely shaping up now. Yeah,
Plumley's struggling. He does have a slight bit of damage on the front left of his Kia Optima there, but doesn't look like it's enough to really cause this much distress here. But Palmer's just got a great setup with Team Carnage today. They're looking fantastic.
Yeah, second place in race 1 for Ben Palmer. It could have been a win.
Look at this. It's going to be so easy for Palmer to take the lead.
Yep, last time around 58.6 for Plumley, 57.8. 0.8 of a second difference between these two.
Is he going to keep it though, Plumley? Clever driving by him. Veteran of this series now.
And he's side by side with him.
And he was, but again, no straight line speed. So I wonder, Adam, if there's some aero damage on that car.
Yeah, of course, these guys have had to battle their way through the pack, and Robert Plumley, I don't know whether he had any involvement in the carnage at the start of race 2, but he's now down to second place. He hasn't not got the same sort of setup that that Ben Palmer has, because he is now pulling away, and we can now focus on the battle between Katz and Hunt. They're now swapping places.
Yeah, and Daniel Hunt, well, he is 4th in the championship. He's not giving up on his own series here. And he stays ahead of Andreas Katz, but all this is doing is it's helping David Baker. It's helping Baker to just get a little run on Andreas Katz and see if he can get through on his championship rival. This will be massive because Baker's now 74 points behind after the fracas he had in race 1.
Yeah, the Oculus 360 cars, they can't afford to be too gentlemanly and say after you. They need to remind themselves that David Baker is right with them, and he is, as we head through Copse. 8 laps to go, in fact 7.5 laps to go here at Silverstone National. Down into Maggots and Beckett's. Dan Hunt still in 4th place, Katz in 5th, Baker in 6th. Those are your 4th, 5th and 6th place cars, and David Baker, right with Katz, but I don't think he got the best possible exit, Andrew. We'll see as we head down into Brooklands, but I think he's too far away to mount any sort of a challenge.
Yeah, he's not. He's a bit slower as well. Look at that stuff going on behind. Scott Malcolm, Russell Laidler, Matt Owens dropped back into 10th. Then Noon, Wright, Walker, and then it's actually that's a lapped car, isn't it? The green one, but there goes Wright through on Kevin Noon.
Yeah, Noon ran just a little bit too wide, so Jay Wright up into 11th place. The next car for him is our pole sitter for race 2, Matthew Owen, who is now in 10th.
Yeah, Looks like he's trying a little bit too hard now. Needs to just keep focused. He had a good race.
Katz has run wide. Andrew Katz ran very wide.
He's lost the place to Baker cleanly. And he's still side by side with him actually. Oh, and that was a bit close. Breaking into Maggots.
Great move though by Baker. He's up into 5th place. It all started really with Katz getting way out of shape going into Cops, and that allowed Baker the run he needed. So, but it's not over yet, Andrew, is it? Baker having to go to the inside line, and I think Katz might have beaten him to it. Down the inside goes Katz into Brooklands. Will he get the move back there side by side? This is the championship right here.
Baker should have defended that, I think, harder.
Yeah, that's a pretty much done deal there for Katz. Katz back up into 5th place.
I was just going to say, Baker's got quite a lot of front left damage, hasn't he? So I wonder if that's playing into the hands of Katz a little bit in a straight line. Baker in the slipstream, not really being able to get much headway there, but could have been a little bit more forceful in his defence.
That's the thing though, David Baker is able to build up his championship challenge through consistency. He has not won a race this season, David Baker. He's finished second 6 times.
But having said that, he's 74 points behind the man who he just was passed by. So, you know, I'm not saying, he's missed his breaking point there, but I'm not saying throw consistency out of the window, but when you've got the guy right behind you, go over and defend that position, because I think that could be the difference at the end when it's all said and done in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened over David Baker, because he seems to have dropped back a bit off the back of Andreas Katz. The gap between the two, half a second now.
He missed his braking into Maggots, Adam, quite badly, and I think that's cost him.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason why. Back at the just keep an update at what's going on at the front. 1.1 seconds now between Ben Palmer and Robert Plumley. It's a 2-second gap back to Robert Fagg. So Fagg not making too much of an inroad onto Robert Plumley.
Katz has got a real run on Hunt, yeah.
Yeah, down into the first corner. Let's see what happens. We've got 5 laps to go here in race number 2 at Silverstone National. Through Cops. Katz has got the tighter line on the exit as Daniel Hunt runs just a little bit wide, but it's enough for Katz to get the overlap he needs. Will he try and go down the inside into Maggots and Beckett's? No, he's too far away, but will Dan Hunt be able to hold onto the line? Not as good as Katz. Katz has got a fantastic run, Andrew, out of the exit.
He has, but is it good enough? We're going to find out.
David Baker might try and follow him.
Yeah, as we head down towards Brooklyn, you see down the Wellington Straight, 3 Oculus 360 cars there. And
still side by side.
Katz is having a real go now.
Oh no, don't take
he's almost pushing his teammate out of the way, and that's well done by Andreas Katz. Really good driving by Hunt as well, gave him the room.
Yeah, if that wasn't his teammate, I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen both of those cars being turned around. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Dan Hunt is going to have to hold a defence against David Baker, because Hunt has always been at the front of this pack. Now David Baker is going to have to try and push Dan Hunt to try and get that place, because 1 place behind Andreas Katz, I think David Baker would be happy with that, but 2, that's definitely going to put a dent in his championship.
2 would be very, very difficult for him to come back from. I know it's only 90, it'll only be 90 odd points, and I know still 6 races to go, or 7 races to go after this one, but you've got to think that it would be quite a tall order the way that Andreas Katz has been driving this season. And also Oculus, Adam, they're still not out of the team's championship. Yes, they're 500 points behind, but in this series that can be breached.
Yeah, because in the past few seasons we always used to see one team that was always consistent, and this season it's been so open. Pete Newman Media, I thought they were going to run away with the team's championship after the performance we saw at Brands at the start of the season, and they probably are.
They've fallen to pieces.
Yeah, just they haven't managed to take a win in the last few race meetings. They haven't been at the championship in the past.
They won a round at Donington, didn't they, when their car wasn't very good? And to be honest, their car hasn't been that good for a few weeks now.
Yeah, some of
the drivers have been getting involved in silly incidents. I mean, we saw Dan Kraft get involved a few times in race 1, and even Field missed a few races, and that's probably 200 points down the toilet. So little things add up, don't they, in this championship?
Yeah, because Simon Field, wasn't he leading the championship at one point in this series, and now he's currently sitting in 3rd, 138 points behind.
Yeah, because he missed those 3 races, didn't he? I believe he missed the Donington Park round, so yeah, it's just a difficult one for him. I mean, he's tried his best. He's done a good championship, and he's only in 13th place here. He only started 14th, so he's not really moved forward. And all his teammates got taken out pretty much in the first lap. So very, very tough. As Ben Palmer now leads by 1.6, and is looking pretty good over Plumley. You can see Plumley there in the background.
Also, David Baker, he had the opportunity to really pull away in the points lead, but he had a nightmare of a race meeting at Donington Park as well. I remember battling with him, in fact, as well. So, as he runs into the back of Dan Hunt now, I think it's starting to become a bit more urgent, Andrew. We've got 1.5 laps to go here in the second race. David Baker just trying to get past now.
Steve Hefford could do Andreas Katz a favour as well, because look where he is. He's chasing David Baker, and to your point about Donington, I think you were much faster than him at Donington. So he obviously didn't have a very good meeting there, really. And there's laps. Is that lap traffic getting out of the way? Is that Richardson? Is it?
Yeah, Steve Richardson, back marker there in the Elite Martini car. Fags managed to get past, and now hopefully the back markers the other guys will be able to get past as well. White flag in the air, and Andreas Katz has been able to pull away, and they're coming up on. Yeah, that's just Steve Richardson getting out of the way. Yes, it is.
Richardson has had a good race. He started last, and he's now 23rd, so pretty good from Steve. But yeah, they're still battling away, and can David Baker do anything about Dan Hunt? Will he want to risk it?
Down into Beckett, let's see if he does, and he's got a good line. He's got a very good line. He's almost into the back of Daniel Hunt. I don't know whether that's just going to hurt him though down the straight. I think he's just a bit too far away to get it done. We've seen really you have to be side by side really with the guy in front to get a move done into Brooklands, and I think David Baker's not going to be able to get it done unless he lunges, which I don't think he will do, no.
Oh, he doesn't. And then coming through the final corner then to take his second win in BSRTC, his Team Carnage is Ben Palmer.
Plumley, great second place from him. He took his first win earlier in the season, and I think he'll be very happy to round that up with a second place finish in race 2 today.
You're right, Robert Fagg in third. Good podium for him. He's needed a good result the last couple of weeks. So Katz in fourth, Hunt in fifth, Baker sixth, seventh Hefford, then Russell Laidler in eighth, ninth for Scott Malcolm, and 10th for Kevin Noon.
Yeah, the rest of the top 20 as they come across the line now, pretty spread out in fact, considering it's a pretty short track. 11th place was Matt Walker. 11th place, was Matt Walker. 12th was Matthew Owen. Simon Field in 13th place. I think that
changed hands on the last lap, Adam. Why that was changing around.
Yeah, Simon Field in 13th, Steve Walker 14th, I think, and they're still coming across the line as we speak. Robert Graham, I do believe, is in 15th place. Jay Wright 16th. They're still coming across the line now. 17th, Julian Janowski. 18th, Stephen Burke. 19th, Alex Smolensky. So Smolensky could be in with a shot of the reverse grid pole here. That could be crucial for his championship. And in 20th place is Laura Bond.
Yep, and it was a really messy race, and Alex, I don't know if I can bring you in for just to try and see what happened at the start and exactly see who got involved.
Yeah, just absolutely disastrous opening lap there, or end of it. So, yeah, we'll have to have a little look at that one back. Let's see if I can't find something.
It was Smith, wasn't it? Was it Smith? No, it wasn't Smith.
See what was
it?
It
was
well,
Ellis. It was Ellis Stevens. And the car in pink, that's Dan Kraft. Dan Kraft getting into the back of Andrew Whitehead. Andrew Whitehead coming out of the final corner, Alex. So end of lap 1, Andrew Whitehead versus Daniel Kraft.
Oh, look at that one.
Yep.
Let's do the reverse grid order first, just as we've got the results up on the screen at the moment, if you don't mind, guys.
No problem. We'll remind you the cars finishing 15th to 20th. Robert Graham in 15th, Jay Wright 16th, Julian Janowski 17th, Stephen Burke 18th, Smolensky 19th, and Laura Bond 20th.
Let's bring up the magic dice. Three rolls done, and pole position. We've got a full reverse grid again.
Laura Bond onto pole position, Andrew. That's going to be interesting, especially with her teammate, Alex Smolensky, alongside her on the front row.
Yeah, indeed, and we've seen Laura do well at this track before. I think she was almost on the podium here in Season 6, so we're going to hope that she can have a clean race this time. So back to this incident on the...
Yeah, I think
the very end of lap 1, Alex.
I think I've got it here anyway.
So Whitehead and Stevens are knocking 7 bells out of each other, and that allows Daniel Kraft to come out of nowhere, and I think that catches both of them by surprise. And yes, Whitehead gets turned around, and sadly it's inevitable that he was going to roll back into everyone, and then it's just carnage from there. Poor Ashley Sutton gets a handful of Andrew Whitehead there, who gets thrown into orbit, and whoa, one of the cars there, EOR cars, manages to miss it by just inches, and a few cars, I think, diving for pit road for cover, really. Amazing how they didn't throw a safety car, but wow, huge incident.
Yeah, so many little incidents after the event as well, so a lot of drivers caught up big time in that, but yeah, Whitehead went flying, so...
Did, and one of the Carnage cars nearly ended up over the fence. Not sure who that was. That was...
Excuse me.
That... No, I don't know who was the other Carnage car that flew up in the air. I'm not sure, I'll be honest. But it was absolute mayhem further back. I mean, that's all you can really say.
My word. Matt Walker, I don't know if we're able to get a camera on him, Alex, but he's very late to the incident, and two of the cars are coming towards him, and somehow he manages to miss it by just inches.
It was Ashley Blake Hood that was caught up in that as well.
Oh my word, good grief. And he ends up finishing in 11th place, Andrew. I don't know if you've been able to have a look at Matt Walker.
Yeah, let's have a quick gander at that. The same incident, was it?
Just watching it on screen now as well, so obviously it's just going into Brooklands right now.
Yeah, so Matt Walker heading into the final corner, just trying to get past
Teammate, is it?
Martin Brandon, yeah, I think on the exit.
Oh, it's a Fusion car, isn't it? Yep.
Heading through.
Oh, there's a car in orbit, car going over the fence.
Yeah, and it just Andrew Whitehead, and then Sutton there. Oh my! And then he just is able to miss it, and then he goes on to get an 11th place finish. So
and he hits Scott Malcolm and Cops as well for his troubles. But yeah, excellent from Matt Walker. Really good reactions and everything there. But you know, just another one of those things. Guys getting too feisty on the opening lap. Not even gonna. Well, I am gonna. I was gonna say I wasn't even gonna mention Paul Smith, but that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, parking your car on the apex is definitely something that needs to be stamped out of racing, and
especially when you were 30 feet off the track to begin with. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that one. But Adam, I must admit that was a cracking race.
Yeah, even though Ben Palmer started 19th on the grid and was able to come back to take the victory, a fantastic result from him, and it's great to see guys that you don't usually see at the front of the pack, and that's what's great about this reverse grid. Robert Plumley getting another second place, and the championship contenders mixing it there as well. So race 3.
I don't think we can be surprised about Robert Plumley anymore. I think he's in such good form that he just seems to find a way, even when he's not the quickest driver. Like today, he's not got the package underneath him really, but he fought through to second.
8 top 10s as well, so fantastic season by Robert Plumley. And race 3 with 2 teammates, Laura Bond and Alex Walensky on the pole, with Stephen Burke and Julian Janowski and Jay Wright in amongst the action. And don't forget the championship contenders. We're certainly setting ourselves up for a fantastic race 3.
We are indeed. I'll just butt in a little bit just quickly before we go. The championship standings have been updated, and that means now that Andreas Katz leads by 84 points, and then there's a further 85 back to Simon Field. So and Pete Newman's actually moved into the top 5 courtesy of Ashley Blake Hood's retirement in the last race. So Adam, that wasn't exactly a game changer, was it? But it was important for Katz.
Yeah, important for Katz. He's managed to increase his gap by 10 points now to 84 points. Will the same happen to Katz in race 3? Don't forget, we saw a huge incident at the start of race 2. Some big names could get taken out, and then the championship could be blown wide open. Don't miss race 3.